What's up, y'all? I'm Dr. Marcus Thompson, a gastroenterologist who specializes in digestive health. And in this video, I want to talk about ginger tea and all these claims people make about what it does for your gut and your stomach. Is it really true? Before we get started, I want to invite you to join our community here at Gut Health Nation. Lots of folks watch our videos but forget to subscribe, and it really helps us out if you hit that subscribe button down below. Click the bell icon too if you want to be the first to know when we drop new content. And do me a favor right now, it costs you nothing and it means the world to us. Smash that like button. Don't forget, okay? So ginger tea, is it really good for your digestive system? Let me tell you, lots of people ask about this, and I know there's plenty of doctors watching these videos. We make these for regular folks, but I know we've got hundreds, maybe thousands of doctors following along, and many of them ask me to talk about ginger tea. Here's why. Look, I'm a traditional doctor in the sense that I'm totally science-based. I can't stray from the science. Everything I say has got to have scientific backing, okay? I'm a surgeon. I deal with real physical problems, and like most surgeons, I'm pretty straightforward. So sometimes it bugs us when we see people, doctors or other health professionals, making posts about so-called natural miracle products that don't have scientific proof, no randomized clinical trials, no double-blind studies with strong evidence for us to confidently tell patients, yeah, go ahead and use this. People say stuff with such confidence sometimes without knowing if it's just one experimental study with a tiny sample size. And lots of tea spread around America and worldwide can actually cause harmful effects. I always tell my patients, be careful with any kind of tea. But Dr. Thompson, someone told me this tea is good for the stomach, good for digestion, good for water retention. Careful, careful. There have been several studies, even TV programs showing toxic and teratogenic teas that can even lead to tumors or cancer, buildup of heavy substances and minerals in your body that don't get eliminated. So be really careful with teas. That's why people are so interested in my take on this, because honestly, our channel is about up-to-date medicine, but grounded in scientific evidence. I'm really afraid of straying from scientific evidence because I work with patients every day and we reach a huge audience across 5 continents. I have a big responsibility with what I say here. So ginger tea, if you look it up, people claim it's good for everything. They say it's good for, I don't know, elbow pain. I'm half joking, but seriously, they say it cures diabetes, cures ingrown toenails, cures ear infections. I'm not making this up. People really say this stuff, and I want to talk a bit about ginger. Ginger is a medicinal plant, very well known. Now you might be thinking, but doc, all medicines come from plants. They all come from nature, right? Well, yeah, most of them do, maybe, but you got to prove all this works in humans. It's not enough to do it in a test tube. You need human studies so we can apply this information to the public, okay? Ginger is a medicinal plant, yes, and it's been used for approximately 5,000 years. Can you believe that? And for about 40 years now, it's been seriously studied. Fun fact, the name ginger comes from Sanskrit, and it's been valued for its health benefits throughout history. You should know that numerous studies have come out about ginger, studies from major universities, medical studies, research from institutions across the country. And what's interesting is that after doing genetic mapping of this root, its compounds, they found it contains things like gingerols, shogols, zinnerone, and other compounds. And these substances have protective effects on the stomach, antiseptic action, anti-inflammatory effects, helps reduce nausea. So they started studying these effects in people and came to some conclusions. The big claim about ginger tea, and I'll explain at the end how to make it and what the contraindications are, who shouldn't use it, is this. It's really good for people with acid reflux, GERD issues, people who burp a lot, people who say they eat and feel bloated, who get heartburn. That burning sensation, that chest tightness, that chest discomfort from reflux, you always got to rule out heart problems first. Many patients come in with chest pain, and obviously I send them for cardiac evaluation, EKG, stress test. Once that's ruled out, you can bet it's reflux. People with gastritis, with erosions, with inflammation, what does ginger do? The compounds in it actually help protect the stomach lining and reduce inflammation. The stomach has this protective mucus layer, right? Don't forget, you've got hydrochloric acid, pepsin, intrinsic factor, minus gastric juices. that are extremely acidic. When we lose that mucus layer, that's when inflammation starts and you get gastritis, erosions, ulcers, and a bunch of other problems, even bleeding, and in very specific cases, perforation, because you've lost that protective mucus layer. Studies show ginger helps maintain that protective barrier, preventing stomach acids from damaging the lining. So yeah, for stomach issues, it definitely has beneficial effects. And here's something really interesting. It has beneficial effects against H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori. Most people have heard of this bacteria that's in the stomach of about 60% of the population. We get it from food and water, and we know H. pylori is the main cause of gastric and duodenal ulcers in the first part of the small intestine. It causes stomach pain, and H. pylori is also linked to stomach cancer, so it needs to be dealt with. Ginger has an effect, not bactericidal where it kills the bacteria, but bacteriostatic, meaning it stops it from multiplying and growing. And here's something really modern for both patients and doctors watching. Lots of people get endoscopies that come back showing the bacteria, but a normal exam, or mild inactive gastritis with H. pylori positive. Current studies show you don't need to kill it. You don't need to take 4 antibiotics in the morning, 4 at night for 14 days, then a proton pump inhibitor for 28 days. Actually, most people have H. pylori, and if you don't have active second or third degree gastritis, or gastric or duodenal ulcer, or at least second or third degree reflux, it's not causing harm. So if we reduce H. pylori multiplication minus, which ginger does with this bacteriostatic effect, we're going to reduce gastritis and ulcer activity. That's interesting too. Another thing, ginger has been documented as excellent for reducing gas, an anti-flatulent effect. People who pass a lot of gas, or the opposite, people whose belly gets really swollen and distended. It's helpful because the compounds in it inhibit excessive fermentation caused by our gut microbiota, our intestinal flora. Sometimes, depending on certain foods or even an unhealthy gut flora called dysbiosis, you get lots of gas, and ginger really reduces that gas and that feeling of heaviness or excess bloating. Something really important too in my field of gastroenterology, it has a beneficial effect on bowel function because it has compounds that act almost like fiber, helping increase intestinal peristalsis. The one thing I'll say about fiber, you need water. If you don't drink plenty of water throughout the day, you won't get that benefit. I have a video about drinking water on an empty stomach, specialist's opinion that went worldwide. People from all over contact me saying their life changed after watching that video. If you haven't seen it, search for drinking water on empty stomach specialist opinion and you'll see my face. Watch that video, it'll change things for you, okay? Another beneficial effect, it has a diuretic effect, mild to moderate, not super strong, but sometimes that helps people who retain a lot of fluid, who get really swollen throughout the day. Studies show ginger has beneficial effects for that. Even people with mild high blood pressure, if you take this, the diuretic effect can help control your pressure. Not saying you should stop your medication, talk to your doctor, but often you can reduce the dose under medical guidance. Don't do anything on your own. That's what health professionals are for, to guide you specifically. And finally, regarding scientifically proven studies, ginger is beneficial for healing. It's antiseptic and promotes wound healing. It has substances that help wounds heal, even surgical wounds or any kind of injury. People heal really well. It has that benefit too. There are some other benefits where all the studies are pointing in this direction, but we still need to wait a bit for more conclusive research. One is that ginger shows anti-cancer properties because it's a potent antioxidant, has compounds that work to prevent certain cancers. Studies are showing really promising things here. Another thing showing up a lot is that it works against E. coli, a bacteria that causes lots of repeated urinary tract infections, especially in women, because of the proximity of the anus to the vagina. Most female UTIs come from fecal bacteria, but we need to wait for more studies to finalize and conclude on these topics. All right, who shouldn't use it? What are the contraindications? Pregnant women shouldn't use it in large amounts. It can affect uterine contractions. Women who are breastfeeding, it can affect milk production. Kids and teenagers under 12, there aren't studies confirming it's safe for them. People with very low blood pressure, I mentioned the diuretic effect. So if you have low blood pressure and take this, you might drop it even more. Okay. Also, people on blood thinners should be careful because ginger can affect blood clotting. How to use it. Ginger tea. There are capsules available. Generally, people use 2 capsules every 8 hours. Each capsule has about 400, 500 ml. But honestly, I prefer people use the actual tea. How do you make it? You get fresh ginger root. Not going to talk in grams to keep it simple. Take about a thumb-sized piece of ginger, about an inch or so. Peel it, slice it up, and steep it in 6 to 8 ounces of hot water. Let it sit for about 5-10 minutes so those compounds really infuse into the water, then drink it right away. I've seen some patients message me saying they prepare it and sip it throughout the day while it sits there. No, that's not correct. You lose ginger's beneficial effects. You got to prepare the infusion, let it steep for 5-10 minutes, then drink it immediately. What time? After your 3 main meals. After breakfast, after lunch, after dinner. Before you ask, how long? As long as you want. If you want to use it just during a period to improve your digestion and stomach issues, you can. But don't forget, if you're doing treatment with your gastroenterologist or GI surgeon for your stomach with medication, you can take the medication and the ginger tea. After you finish the medication course, try maintaining with ginger and get a follow-up endoscopy to see how your gastritis, ulcer, or reflux is doing. This is really important. Everything we do has to have scientific proof regarding the use of this type of tea. Okay? Remember, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe and give us a like. It's really important. Summary, does ginger tea help your stomach, intestines, and other parts of your body? Truth, it has scientific proof. Yes. You can use it with confidence. Okay? But be very careful with teas that don't have proven studies. Just because your friend, your neighbor, your relative, your boss recommended it, be careful. That's a big warning here at Gut Health Nation. See you in the next video.